you are very much aware of the pressure that was put on the governor Babajide Sanwo-olu before the governorship elections, the emergence of GRV as the Labour Party presidential candidate, and then the spillover effect of all of that, the Igbos shouting they were cheated, they were, and all of that. Now, there's this renewed cry, agitation from them, saying the Lagos state government is making some, putting in place some plans to run them out of Lagos with the demolition of some parts of the Alaba market, and then some laws, some land acquisition laws and all of that. What would you say to the Eagles at this time who think that there's a deliberate plan to run them out of Lagos by the
I would
government?
rather put it that what would I say to Lagosians? Because there are a lot of Igbos that also supported Mr. Babajide Sanwo-olu. So it's not the M block of the Igbo people, no. So some people are only saying that in order to try to attract sympathy for that. But that is not the case in Lagos. I've been out since morning now. My next door neighbor, sharing the same fence, is an Igbo man. He has supposed infraction with Ministry of Fiscal Planning. And for my own character, my background, I want to investigate what happened. So I left what I was doing. I went to the Ministry of Physical Planning for them to open the files for us to see what had happened. That's an Igbo man, right? Now, the governor is not looking at that. The governor is looking at everybody come together. Let us work for country. Let's work for Lagos. Those people that have laid claims to those sundry matters at Alaba International, we watch it on television. The building had racked. The physical structure, integrity of the building have been compromised. Should we now leave it like that? God forbid that building collapse and kill somebody, perhaps a Yoruba man, in an Igbo man's shop, and no Igbo man died. Are they not going to say in their own language that that is a terrorism act against the Yoruba nation? So let's move away from some people trying to target in the way they feel will attract sentiment. But let us look at what had happened. There are so many people from Igbo land that have come here with one bag to Lagos and become billionaires and own private jets. And meanwhile, the indigenous people of Lagos have not been able to own the tire of a private jet. But because the man that came with one bag to Lagos is very industrious, very intelligent, he has a drive to succeed, regardless of nationalities. And people who are buying his products are not just Igbo, they're all nationalities, and he's also selling to people outside the country. That is the spirit of Lagos. Lagos provides opportunity. And if Lagos is providing you that, it behoves on you not to destroy Lagos. For every building collapse in Lagos, it affects the integrity and the image of Lagos. And the governor of Lagos, the government of Lagos will not want that. The people of Lagos will not want that. Lagos is the 6th biggest economy in Africa. So how should we hear, or how should it be said on tabloids and anywhere that we have incessant building collapse all over the place in Lagos? Investors will run away. They will say this government is not serious. But the seriousness of the government of Lagos is driving the administration to make sure that everybody conforms to rules and regulation, in which it will benefit everybody at the end of the day.
What do you think the president should be looking at in terms of uniting the country, healing, the aggrieved individuals, aggrieved regions? What should Nigerians expect going forward? Because I'm sure you'd agree that right now, the country is thoroughly
once
divided.
again, I would like to correct that statement with the profoundest of respect. No region is aggrieved. No region. In every region, Ashwaju won some votes, won majority votes. So an aggrieved person will not cast one single vote for the APC. So no region is aggrieved. In this cabinet now, we have people from every region. So how can the aggrieved want to be in his government. It's not possible, right? So the issue is the president has started the healing process. Whenever he's meeting any demography of interest in the country, he does not segregate. He called all of them. Recently, he just met the class of 1999. He called all of them across parties, across nationalities. He called them as brothers and friends. And they were all with him to see one of them of their generation, in their time, become president of Nigeria. It has never happened before. And they sat down and they discussed about Nigeria. Recently also, he met women leaders of the APC. They also come from different nationalities. He has made some appointments across nationalities. He has called youth from the Niger Delta to help security agencies by providing information to tackle oil thieves. And he's already yielding results. You saw the oil tanker that was apprehended with over 800,000 barrels of crude oil.
Right. Yes.
That information was provided by those people living in that community. Right? So many pipelines that have been unplugged from the major pipelines. A lot of people were seeing it now. They turned deaf ears to it.
Yes.
But they gave him that information. He processed it and they went for it and they unplugged it. And they're they're having success in those areas. The first time I was in Aso Rock, on the day of his inaugural ball, right, that night, I saw people, beggars, coming into Aso Rock, into the banquet hall to eat. Beggars, unrestricted. People of different backgrounds came in, even without invitation cards. Have we ever seen that in Nigeria before? And the president was there, dancing with his wife, and the vice president. They all had dinner in the same banquet hall. So he's a populist person. Even at that, he has his eyes on the ball to achieve what he has given as promise.
How do you think he's going to, let's say, assuage the frayed nerves of the Gen Z generation who think that it's just not in their age bracket and anything other than that will not help? Do you think he'll be able to handle that generation of Nigerians?
Again, sir, let's not generalize.
Okay.
Some of them have that opinion. And I won't blame them, because over time, successive governments have not been able to meet up with their expectations. But not with someone like Asiwaju. In his programs, in his campaign, it was majorly youth-driven. From his appointment now, over 60% of those that have been appointed are within the youth bracket, and at the fringes of the youth bracket, moving to the older bracket as it is. Some of his sensitive appointments, especially media, very, very sensitive, has been given to the youth. By the time he announces his cabinet, you are going to have so many youth. His special advisors, about 2 of them are particularly within the youth bracket. The lady that is in charge of is it economy or what is it? That lady,
Energy.
the energy lady, she's a youth. She might not be at the earlier pyramid of the youth bracket, but she's still within that pyramid of the youth bracket. She's a youth. The man from the former commissioner for finance from Oyo State,
Yes.
is still within that bracket. But you are going to see a lot of younger ones coming in his cabinet, head of agencies, ministers, and what have you, by the time that announcement is done. What President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is looking at more are people who are driven and are very hungry for development. Those are the people that he will particularly want to come on board, so that hunger for progress will push the advancement to having things done very quickly with the best brilliance that is comparable anywhere in the world.
I wonder how he goes about his recruitment style. I'm saying this because I look at how someone like him would have picked on you years back, how he's picked on these new players that you're talking about, and I'm wondering what goes through his mind. What does he look out for? How easy is it for him to just pick people from a diverse population like,
There's a saying that readers are leaders. He reads a lot. He might not know you directly,
okay.
but from what he reads, his social media survey, he reads newspapers, he reads books, and all of that. So he gets to see a lot of people. And he also asks questions from people that approach him, and he's very accessible. Forget the fact that he's now president, yeah, there will be more added security around him because of the office he occupies and all of that. But he has an open door. You understand? More for youths that come in and they sit down, they discuss, and he also challenges their minds. And when he challenges their mind, they also bring content to see. And he watch TV. He knows the musicians, he knows this, he knows that. He's a youth at heart. And from his background, from the private sector, you will know that a lot of people that work in those establishments are predominantly youth, and they also interact with community and all of these things.
But somehow, before now, a lot of people felt that the kind of 360-degree change that we've seen would not have been possible in Nigeria, especially coming from the position of the previous government and how he just came in and practically upturned everything and all that. How easy was that transition or that process?
Well, he has only demonstrated that everything is possible as long as you set your mind to it. There's nothing that a human being cannot achieve. Once your mindset is positive, you are resolute, and of course you have your faith in God, you will definitely arrive at that logical good conclusion that you have set for yourself as target.
During the campaigns or before the elections or during the election, were there times you felt perhaps things won't work out the way it did?
No, there was no time. You see, as a civil society change agent, we have this saying that if we try, we can win. If we don't try, we will never win. So as long as we are determined to try, the sole purpose of our conclusion is to win. We know there will be challenges on the road. Yes, it will come, but it will not deter us from that winning that we have set our goals to achieve.
There were speculations at some point that you were expected to go for House of Reps. I think I read something like that a few months back, and then suddenly, and I'm sure a lot of people must have been pleased by that news because you are regarded as, one of the brilliant young minds within the APC at the moment. Somewhere along the line, that story died down. Can you confirm if this was true, and if it was, what happened?
Well, those are part of the interplay in politics, and one will not allow that to disturb one's thinking and purpose to life and all of that. It has come, it has gone. We'll continue the journey, and like Ashwaju we always say, it can be likened to a football match. You are playing football. Some people try to get the ball from your feet. You stumble sometimes. You fall sometimes. But the importance, like Obafemi Awolowo once said, is not how many times a man falls that matter. What matters more is how many times that man gets up to continue the race. So we are up. The race is on. We are continuing, and we'll get to a very good conclusion.
Share with us some of the qualities of Asiwaju that you admire the most. I ask this because I've known you for a long while now, and going by your background, you were a very active student union member, it's believed that people in that class are usually heady, stubborn, difficult to deal with, and usually impatient with older people. How come you were able to get along with Ashwaju? How come you're still as loyal as you were with him? Almost 2 decades ago when you met him. Brings me back to those qualities that you admire about.
Well, what I admire about him the most is determination, right? Regardless of the challenges that he also had over time in life, he's still determined to succeed. Don't ever think that everything is very rosy around him. I mean, if you have looked and studied his political sojourn and his life from cradle to where he is now, it has not that been all perfect. There have been challenges, like a graph. But one thing with him is that he's resolute. That I have set my eyes on this, and I believe that it is good, and I will achieve it for the purpose of mankind. So looking at that, I see him as a mentor, that no matter the challenges I go through, you have somebody in your front that you are looking up to, is not quitting at any challenge that is thrown at him, is turning every lemon to lemonade, and he keeps going. Even at his age, he keeps going and all of that. So why should I now rest because one or two challenges have been thrown at me? And secondly, the relationship I have with him is not material. And that is one thing we need to understand in this mundane. People will come to you because of material gains. So people will say, oh, you are very close to him. You should be a billionaire by now. You should have this. And I'll just look at them like this. That I have never for one day see him and ask that I want to work with you to achieve a material gain. No. It has always been on the basis of discussion, on the basis of, oh, I think the country should be like this. He will also ask, oh, why do you think it should be like that? Discussion will arise, and after that, we all go back to our various homes and all that, and we meet again, and we start discussing about the community, society, and how we feel it should work. They are very high up there, with Professor Shoyinka, Project Solar Conde of blessed memory, Dr. Beko and all. We were very low down here, so we're always looking at them, reading about them, and the thing that we cherish most is to be around them to take pictures. Why some people will say, oh, they want what they cherish most is they go there and collect something, but our own medallion is to take picture. I will hang it. You understand? Like in my office, I have Awolowo, I have Thomas Sankara, I have Fela, I have him and all of that. So those are, how would I put it, achievement for us. And to have been able to imbibe some qualities from them, and we can also go in our own little enclave to experiment our brains, and we see that, oh, it has come well, then we are happy about that. So we have different purposes to life. I don't blame those who also want to meet them in order to walk along their goodwill, you understand, to improve their material state. So be it to them. You understand? So we all have different purposes to life.
Does it worry you sometimes that we now have a growing population of youth who are not just resting, they are gullible to some extent. They follow the bandwagon. They don't ask questions. They don't research, and they are very, very vulnerable to being used to perpetrate violence and anarchy. Like we have seen, in Lagos, and we even see on social media when there's, a whole lot of unpleasant stuff going on. How does this worry you when you see that a large chunk of our youth are going in that direction?
It doesn't worry me, and I will not say they are gullible. I will say that's the level of their understanding. You see, a man cannot do beyond his ability. I am this deep to my little minutest level because I've been able to get close, and I was opportune to get close to people with higher cerebral. You understand? So it's a privilege for me. So if they are in my own space too, and you flip the table, I'm in their space, I will think like them. So what society need to do is now create more opportunities. Like Bros has done, okay, come, we want to hear from you. Through his platform, others also will hear from my own experience and perhaps tap from that and make better of themselves. You understand? So it's a symbiotic thing. So we don't really condemn them. It's a level of understanding. So one needs to come to that level, show them what is good, and help them up their games.
Okay. Well, this would be my last question. Do you, how do you, what do you think of this speculation that a lot of people within the APC, some prominent people from the north, are not happy with the direction the already were made into, and the style of the president, that a lot of people are feeling, okay, we worked for him, he's dumped us, he's moved on. Some are feeling like, no, I deserve this position, he's not even looking in my direction. What do you think of that scenario, and what do you think the president can do in that regard?
It is expected, right? People are coming from different backgrounds. People are propelled by different reasons. The reason that is propelling the president is to change the status quo for good, right? That same reason is in the president's mind, as you have said, that some people are thinking this, thinking that. He knows that they might want to think that way, if indeed they are thinking that way. But he also has plans to carry everybody along. The first thing is that as a party, we have promised Nigerians that we are coming to change their living condition. He has always discussed it with people. He has discussed it with the nation, right? Now, people must also be patient. You must be patient. Definitely everybody will get carried along. The state of emergency that was declared on the food security thing, these are multiplier things that will touch everybody. The money that has been saved from subsidy removal, the intervention will touch everybody. From those savings, ASU will get their own. He will have settled ASU. He would have settled the NMA. It will improve on transportation. At the long end of it is that everybody will tap in to that big opportunity that he has created. And there's no how he can appoint a government. It's not possible. It is said we have over 200 million Nigerians. Can 200 million Nigerians get an appointment? It is not possible. So he's looking at the big picture. What can I create? And he has said it in the Renewed Hope document that everybody will key into. Dangote have never contested in any election in Nigeria, but he is the richest black man in Africa. Mr. Femi Otedola did not contest for anything. Bua Abdulsamad did not contest for anything. There are many rich unsung Nigerians that we don't even know. They didn't contest for anything, but they are benefiting from the opportunity in the country President Bola Tinubu is looking at, creating opportunity that even the son of a nobody can key into and become very rich. And he also will create more opportunities for others. So don't blame anybody if indeed they have such thinking, but time will make everything perfect.
Come together.
And I'm wondering, why did the handlers of Mr. President during the elections allow all the different stories flying around about him? He can't do this, he can't do that, and suddenly he won, and people now saw a different person. And they began to ask questions. Oh, was he not the same person that you said couldn't do? And I'm wondering, why didn't his handlers handle that bit at that time?
Well, Mr. President have no handler, if I may come again. He has friends, he has people of like minds that surround him, and they all reason together and try to walk towards their purpose. You must understand that in politics, people will throw fake news to get you distracted from your objective. Like it is said, permit me to use this analogy, that a man that is walking to a destination and many dogs are barking on the road, you do not pay attention, all of your attention, to the dogs barking. You look at your destination. Yes, you pay attention to check if they can be harmful to you without losing track of your destination. You understand? So he listens, they see, they might not react because they know that time will definitely answer a lot of those tantrums that they are throwing. But the main aim is that they are promised the people of certain programs, and they are looking at how to achieve those programs without being distracted.
Thank you very much.